Hello Cules, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal and welcome to my match review of Dynamo Kyiv 0, Barcelona 4. We've got a lot of reasons to be happy tonight, quite an unexpected big victory away from home. There is certainly lots to discuss, so without any further ado, let's get into the match review of Dynamo Kyiv 0, Barcelona 4 in what was a crazy game and a really bright one for Barcelona. And if we do jump in with Ronald Koeman's team selection, which certainly was a big topic of discussion this evening, I think we all knew in the preview of this game that it was going to be a weakened Barcelona. We knew players like Mingueza were going to be coming into the lineup, but I think he did even leave a few surprises. No Griezmann there, as we saw Braithwaite up front. I thought it was an interesting one, and also Junior Firpo at left back instead of Jordi Alba. So Barcelona essentially played their second team tonight. It really was heavily rotated. We know I've got a lot of injuries. We know we're resting players, and we decided to rest even more on top of that. So look, it was a weak Barcelona, you'd say, but you look all over that pitch and you can't really fault many of their performances. Look, it wasn't top from the likes of Junior, Longley even. Pjanic was okay, for example, but I think the players that came in, give them a lot of credit. Look at Mingueza at the back. Not a bad debut at all for Barcelona in a Champions League game away in Ukraine. I was really impressed. You look at Serginho Dest at right back, who we'll be getting onto later. What a good young footballer he is. Unbelievable at right back. Certainly the sort of prototype right back we want at Barcelona. You look in the midfield, I thought Alenya coming back in proved exactly what he can do. The sort of player that over this Christmas period for me has to be playing more football. Look in the front four even now. Coutinho started well. Pedri was having some nice touches. Trincao certainly grew into the game as it went on, and also Braithwaite, guys. With 2 goals to his name, you can't really complain. But if we take a look at how the first half went, there weren't actually many chances in all truth, and I think the first half was maybe quite a bit annoying for a lot of Barcelona fans. There were certainly some angry fans before the game. They weren't too pleased with the lineup. Obviously, we haven't been pleased with the results as a whole, and the first half didn't really, get rid of any of those quarrels because it was pretty goddamn dead there. Not a lot happened. Look, to be fair to Barcelona, a heavily rotated side, I didn't have high hopes for this game. We've come away 4-0 victors, but the first half, at least we controlled the game. Dynamo didn't really get close to us. I was probably disappointed with them as the whole game went on. They did not damage us enough, you'd think, considering how weakened Barcelona were, but to be fair, we dominated the game, like I said, some decent touches from Coutinho. Braithwaite struggled to get in the game for large pass, but Pedri, Trincao were trying some stuff. Alenya I thought was really good at bringing the ball out, distributing it, breaking lines. That's what he's good at. And to be fair, other than that in the first half, there's no real point in me saying much else because not much else happened, but without any further ado, let's get on to that second half. Because to be fair to Ronald Koeman's team, they did come out in that second half with some actual intent, and that for me was really pleasing to see. And it wasn't long before we actually found the back of the net, and it was of all people, Serginho Dest to get his first Barcelona goal. He had a bright first half. We know how much we want to be seeing Dest in the team, but he actually got himself in the score sheet. A good run out of midfield. He was certainly in a good position, more advanced from his fullback area. Some good 1-2s. Pedri got the ball nicely into Braithwaite. It was then Braithwaite who took a little bit of a heavy touch, but Dest, he took it on himself. It's a tight angle, but it's a great finish from the USA international. His first goal for Barcelona, and Barcelona lead in a game we maybe didn't expect them to. I was thinking, look, we've had some nice touches. The play has been positive, I suppose, at least in the first half, but we didn't really look like we had much potency in the final third. So to be fair to Dest, going on from right back, getting a big goal for himself, his first in Barcelona colours, was really nice to see. And the second goal didn't take too long to come either, guys, and it was actually Martin Braithwaite of all people, who I thought was quite disappointing as the whole game went on. He certainly improved in the second half, to be fair. He was getting in and amongst the play, doing some good stuff with the ball at his feet. Of course, got himself in the score sheet twice, but this was a good goal for me. It's a decent corner from Alenya. It's actually Mingueza at the front post, who gets an assist, of course. He flicks it on with a really decent header, not bad at all, puts it into a good area. I thought, like I said, he had a good debut for Barcelona, and it's Braithwaite coming in around the back. I was really pleased with this goal, not only because it puts us 2-0 up and, of course, gets us our 4th win out of the 4 possible wins in the group, which is really good to see. We rotated the side. We knew it was going to be a little bit difficult, but of course we got the win. But also I was pleased with the way that Braithwaite got in on this goal because he is our sub-striker. That's certainly a controversial one. He has the number 9 shirt. But to be fair, our sub-striker, that's what we want him to be doing. Getting in those sort of zones, getting in those areas, and it is a good number 9's goal. So that's what was pleasing for me. And 2-0 Barcelona. After that, around the hour mark, some subs came on. Jordi Alba came on instead of Longley. So Longley, who didn't have his best game again, which is a little bit worrying. But hey, he got rested at least for the upcoming fixtures, which will certainly be needing him in. You look at Jordi Alba, who came on there at left back, and that meant Junior came into the centre-back zone, an interesting one, but we got away with it. Junior, I think, actually wasn't bad when he was moved to centre-back, and Alba certainly helped us out in the left-back zone, so that was good to see, I suppose. You also look at Riqui Puig, who came on instead of Miralem Pjanic, so he was actually in a double pivot next to Alenya. That didn't work too bad badly at all. They've got good control. They ran the midfield for large parts. And then up front also, guys, Griezmann came on instead of Felipe Coutinho, and that didn't make too much of a difference on the game initially. Of course, Griezmann got his goal eventually, but Coutinho had a solid game. We're looking to see him more in the team in the upcoming games, and also Griezmann, of course, we want some of his confidence back, so that goal will do him the world of good. But we get the third, actually, from the penalty spot, and it was actually Braithwaite who nearly got himself his second goal of the game. Of course, he then converted the penalty, but it's good play from Barcelona. It really is. It's a great pass over there by Jordi Alba. He gets into the box. I thought Braithwaite had scored a header, but it was well saved by the goalkeeper, and the replay clearly showed a big push on the back by Popov. The referee did not miss it. Braithwaite, a light appeal. Eventually we got our penalty. We definitely had some shouts in the first half, which I thought was interesting they didn't give. Dynamo, to be fair, also had a penalty shout. That challenge from Longley was a little bit controversial. But Barca get a penalty. Braithwaite steps up. I think we were all expecting Griezmann to take the penalty once he was on the pitch, but Braithwaite steps up, clearly in confident mood, and he absolutely buries it. It's a perfect penalty from Martin Braithwaite, and to be fair to the guy, good mentality, a strong player, and that was nice to see at least. Some more changes were made as well before the final whistle. We saw Mateus Fernandes on the pitch, which I thought was almost bizarre. He came on for Pedri, and also Conrad de la Fuente got himself a Barcelona debut, as well as Mateus, as well as Mingueza. So a lot of debuts, a lot of players coming in out of the lineup. Also Ricky, of course, Alenya back in the team. But to see Conrad and Mateus was interesting. Conrad had a few touches. Mateus wasn't bad, to be fair, but we're not going to judge the guy, off 10 minutes against Dynamo Kyiv when we're 3-0 up. So look, he was alright. It's interesting, the Mateus situation. I don't know how much more football he's going to play for Barcelona, but he was on the pitch. And we eventually made it 4-0. I thought, to be fair, during the entirety of the second half, the play was positive from Barcelona. I was overall pleased. Like I said, the play in the first half, it wasn't bad, but it did lack potency. In the second half, we did look like scoring a lot of times. Dest had a shot that went just over the bar as well. He was absolutely outstanding, Serginho Dest. The players kept on getting the ball. Pedri was breaking lines. Alenya midfield, really positive. And we got our fourth goal eventually. Griezmann, who nearly scored just moments earlier, did get himself on the score sheet. An important goal for him. A good outside of the football to Jordi Alba from Ricky Puig. Alba squares it back. Griezmann controls, fires into the corner, and Barcelona leave Kiev with a victory of 4-0. And just zooming in on some more individual performances there, like I said, I did want to mention Serginho Dest, and it is worth mentioning him because, of course, Sergio Roberto's injured, Dest is in the team, and he will be for the foreseeable future now, you'd hope. Of course, Roberto's got an injury now. When he comes back, he probably will be getting some more game time again. But for now, Dest is our right back. We know he's the right back we want for the future. But he's proving himself here, Serginho Dest. Not that he needed to particularly, but we are starting to see the sort of player we brought. Some of the great flicks, the passing, the positioning, the intelligence. Dest was absolutely outstanding today, and of course he got himself a great goal in an important Champions League game, because elsewhere Juventus got a late winner against Ferencváros. They don't look good right now, but Morata has pulled them out the fire there with a 92nd minute winner, 2-1 there. That's not exactly a good result, is it? We beat Ferencváros 5-1 at home, for goodness sake, with 10 men, so it's not exactly positive for Juventus, but they at least kept up to speed is what I mean. So it was important for Barcelona to win this game, not put ourselves under unnecessary pressure, and that maybe was a worry going into the game. So Dest, I want to say, well done. I thought he was absolutely wonderful. So Serginho Dest, big thumbs up from me, and I'm sure all you Cules around the world would be absolutely delighted to see how well he played tonight. Also, some of the performances that I want to highlight, I think Alenya is one that I really want to draw into because he's an interesting player, Alenya. A midfielder who I think I've always liked for Barcelona B. Hasn't got many first team opportunities, but when he has, for me, he's always impressed. He got harshly axed maybe in earlier seasons, but now that he's back in that double pivot, doesn't look bad at all. We're going to have a lot of games over Christmas. The Copa del Rey will be coming up. And I just think Alenya in general for the future of Barcelona is a sort of player that we can look at. Of course, Ricky Puig is someone who I have great hopes for, but Alenya can't go unnoticed, and for me, one of the top performers tonight. So look, overall really positive for Barcelona tonight. It was good fun to be able to see a lot of the young players playing there. You look at Pedri, who was good again. Trincao really grew into the game as he went on, and we just saw a little bit of maybe a glimpse of the future for Barcelona. And look, I'm not going to say this is a revolutionary match. We've seen things like this before, you would say, where it all looks great for one day and it's terrible the next. I don't necessarily see this as a turning point for Barcelona. For me, Kiev were really poor tonight. I don't know what they were playing at for large parts of the game. But to be fair to Barcelona, they've only gone out there and played what's in front of them with a rested lineup, a lot of young players coming in, a lot of debutants, and have done really well. We've kept a clean sheet away from home in the Champions League, and we've got a good 3 points there, guys. And a 4-0 victory a lot of new players coming in, and I was overall really impressed with them. So I think that's something we can go to bed happy with tonight, and that's where I'm going to end the review, guys. I'm sure all you guys will be pretty happy with that. So let me know your thoughts down below, because I know I can go to bed happy now. That was a good win for Barcelona. I wouldn't draw too much into it, but we can see the sort of players that we want in the future of this team. And that for me was really positive. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end it. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to Barca Universal. Turn those notifications on so you don't miss an upload. And goodbye.